Hello everyone, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In this video, we will be studying about CBI, that is Central Bureau of Investigation. Okay, there has been a debate whether CBI is a caged parrot or not. So what do you mean by caged parrot? What are the factors or what are the challenges that has led to the present situation of CBI that is being called by a caged parrot, not by a common man as such. This particular phrase of caged parrot has been coined by Supreme Court when Supreme Court was about to tell CBI that because of the increased political interference, CBI is being a caged parrot. Okay, now let's understand what the issue is. A candid conversation about the caged parrot. This article relating to the Chief Justice of India, Honorable N.V. Ramana, he claims that CBI still is a caged parrot, and he talks about CBI being a caged parrot. CBI is no more a caged parrot, says Union Minister Kiran Rijiju. You can see here the tussle between judiciary and the government, that is legislature. Okay, about an executive organization, that is CBI. Okay, CBI no more a caged parrot, truly performing its duty, which is said by the Union Law Minister Kiran Rijiju. Because of this context, because of this debate over CBI being a caged parrot and CBI being an autonomous organization, we will be discussing something about CBI which is relevant from the exam point of view. So what is CBI and when did CBI come into picture? See here, during the time of colonial rule, that is in the year 1941, during the time of Second World War. Second World War, if you can recall, is between 1939 to 1945. So in the year 1941, in order to investigate the corruption cases, in order to investigate to corruption in the procurement of weapons for the Second World War, this particular agency, that is Special Police Establishment, was started by the British government. So in the year 1946, a law was passed. Okay, a law was passed. Delhi Special Police Establishment Act was passed in order to empower the police establishment, which was started in the year 1941. So what happened post-independence? Post-independence, in the year 1963, the CBI was established by the government of India in order to investigate the serious criminal and financial offences. For example, any murder for that matter, any high profile murder and a VIP murder for that matter, or also any of the scams that are taking place, financial frauds that are happening, in order to investigate that serious offences, in order to have a skilled manpower and also have a centralized agency. In the year 1963, Government of India started Central Bureau of Investigation. But what happened over the years? Over the years, it's been almost 6 decades. It's almost 6 decades. Over the years, the horizon of CBI has been broadening. Now, CBI can also investigate kidnappings, assassinations, hijacks, crimes committed by extremists, and so on. Okay, these are very serious crimes that have been added to the bucket of CBI. So what is the issue? There has been one particular person, very important and a powerful person inside the CBI, that is the director of CBI. Okay, then how is director of CBI elected and how is this relevant from the exam point of view? Let's see. Director of CBI is the Special Police Establishment, the Inspector General of Police, that is the rank of IG in Delhi's Special Police Establishment, is responsible for the organization. So he is an officer of IG level. Okay, in the year 2014, Lokpal Act that was passed, it gave some of the recommendations for the appointment of CBI, which was eventually accepted by the government. So what is the procedure? How is this particular person, the director of CBI, is appointed? It is appointed by a 3-member committee which is headed by the Prime Minister. So who are the other 2 members? The second member is the leader of opposition or the leader of single largest opposition party. And the last member is the Chief Justice of India or a Supreme Court judge. So these three members, a committee forming the three members, that is the Prime Minister, Leader of Opposition, and also the Chief Justice of India or a Supreme Court judge, will be electing or will be selecting or nominating the director of CBI. Okay, this is the committee which recommends. So from the exam point of view, you should know there is no cabinet minister who is taking place. There is no defense minister, there is no home minister who are a part of this particular panel, and there is no president, there is no governor. Okay, UPSC will confuse by giving all these options. Okay, by giving you all these options. So you should be very clear with this. So revise the committee. Make sure you do not forget and you will not confuse. What are the challenges? What are the challenges that the CBI is facing, because of which CBI is being called as a caged parrot? You can see here the first and the biggest challenge is of the political interference. Okay, excessive political interference. CBI is being used as a tool in the hands of ruling government in order to suppress the dissent. Okay, it is being used as a tool, a political tool, in order to suppress the political opponents. This is one of the biggest allegation that the CBI is facing as of now. Look at here what Madras High Court has to say about CBI. Madras High Court said, release the caged parrot. Okay, HC asks Center to make CBI autonomous. This is not something that is happening in recent days. This was from years together. This was a statement made by the Madras High Court in the year 2019. So from many years, such an allegation of excessive political influence on CBI is happening. What are the other challenges? See, other challenges follows this particular excessive political inference. For example, enormous delays in conducting investigations. If a case relating to the ruling government or a member of parliament or an MLA belonging to a ruling government is taken over by the CBI because of the excessive political influence, such cases are purposefully made to have more time. That is why it is said that if the justice is delayed, then it is denied. Okay. The second one is the loss of credibility. When you have excessive influence or interference by the politicians, then the loss of credibility is obvious. Okay, and the lack of accountability is also obvious, because the political master, who is not being accountable, and who is using the CBI as a tool for his political motives, there is a lack of accountability. Acute shortage of personnel. Okay, acute shortage of personnel. Restricted access. This is something that you have to remember. What is it with respect to access? See, CBI is a centralized investigation agency. When CBI has to investigate based on the federal cases, for example, a state case in Karnataka has to be investigated by the CBI, then CBI has two routes. One is the general consent and the other one is case-to-case basis. The consent by case-to-case basis. Okay, these two are the permissions that the CBI requires from the state government in order to carry out the investigation in particular state. So recently what is happening is this particular general consent, which should be actually given by the state government to the CBI, has been denied. Okay, has been denied. It was started from the West Bengal, which denied the general consent to CBI, and was followed by Kerala, which also denied the general consent given to CBI. If such a restricted access, okay, then the powers given to the CBI cannot be used to its fullest extent, and the objective of the establishment of the CBI will not be met. So how do you solve this problem? What is the solution? See, the first solution is the CBI has to be freed from the administrative control of the government. So in order to, you have to separate CBI from the government control. Okay, the CBI should be provided statutory status through a legislation. Okay, and this legislation should have powers given to the CBI similar to that of CAG, that is Comptroller and Auditor General of India, and also the Election Commission. Okay, CBI has to be empowered. It has to be empowered and it has to have statutory basis. Okay, in this context, this is how the present minister makes the remark. He says CBI is no more a caged parrot. Law Minister Kiran Rijiju after Chief Justice of India's remarks. Okay, Chief Justice of India claimed that CBI has been a caged parrot, and the government official, okay, came up, the minister came up and said that CBI is no more a caged parrot. So what are other solutions that can happen? One is the strengthening the human resources by increasing the strength of CBI. Okay, the challenge that we saw was acute shortage of or the shortage of the personnel, working personnel. So in order to do that, human resource has to be developed. Better investment in the infrastructural facilities and also ICT technology, information communication technology, increased financial resources and administrative empowerment with accountability. Okay, if these 4 or 5 things are ensured, then for sure the CBI will not be a caged parrot. Let's see a prelims question from the exam point of view. Consider the following statements. Statement 1 says, the Director of Central Bureau of Investigation as the Inspector General of Police, Delhi Special Police Establishment is responsible for the administration of the organization. Okay, that is, the Director of CBI is responsible for the administration of CBI, which seems obviously a correct statement. With the enactment of CVC Act of 2003, CVC stands for Central Vigilance Commission. With the enactment of the CVC Act of 2003, the superintendents of the Delhi Special Police Establishment vests with the central government safe investigations of the offences under the Prevention of Corruption Act. So it says, this statement just says, whenever if a case is registered under Prevention of Corruption Act. Imagine, okay, tomorrow there is a case on any civil servant for that matter under Prevention of Corruption Act. If the case is registered here, it will have 2 different investigating agencies, that is CVC and CBI. Okay, in this case, if a case is registered under Prevention of Corruption Act, it is CVC that becomes more powerful than CBI. Okay, normally these 2 organizations are different. They do not have any overlappings or they do not have any relevance, but they do not have any relations. But when it comes to the case registered under Prevention of Corruption Act, CVC gets more advantage and gets more powers than CBI. So what is the answer? So both the statements look obviously correct, and the correct answer would be option C, that is both 1 and 2. Okay, I hope you have understood this. Now let's see a mains question. India's premier investigative agency, CBI, cannot be governed by British era law. So what's a British era law? 1941, the CBI was established. For that matter, Special Police Establishment SPE was established. In the year 1946, an act was passed. So these 2 have the colonial legacy which is attached to CBI. And how do you remove this colonial legacy, and what are the advantages? CBI cannot be governed by the British law. What are the disadvantages now? As of now, it's happening because CBI has no statutory backing. Do you agree? Comment. Okay, this will be a 10-mark answer. Fine. Okay. I think you have liked the video. For more such enriching content, please subscribe to Legacy IAS Academy. Have a nice day. Thank you.